Colón landed right there, 1501, 17 days. And when he got here to these lands, right, he met a lot of indigenous people. And his first thought about the land, it was that I found a rich coast. Encontré una Costa Rica. So, Costa Rica nowadays. Exactly. He thought that he found that because he saw indigenous people wearing gold and jade as jewelry. So, well, I don't blame him because I probably will think the same if you old guys get to the bus with jade and gold, where like, well, wow, hey, there we go. These guys are rich with this in these lands, right? But it was a misunderstanding. Costa Rica did not have gold and jade in the land. Costa Rica didn't exist in Central America, right? We are the newest lands of Central America, even more back then. Imagine, right? We started to find gold like in the beginnings of 19th century in Costa Rica. Imagine, right? But well, we did get gold and jade due to people, indigenous people who came from North and South America, establishing Costa Rica. They were the first owners, and then they were like trading to cross by with people. Like if you want to cross by, you gotta give something in change to cross on my lands, right? So either jade, gold, tools, fruits, right, stuff like that. It was spread out throughout these areas. We became like a biological bridge, not just for animals, either people, right, indigenous people in that time. But well, due to that misunderstanding, after the conquering and all this, later on, right, we changed the name to they did change the name to Costa Rica, right? That's why we are Costa Rica, mainly Spanish language. Oh well, so what's going on? Oh, the traffic jam in the jungle. We didn't expect that, right? Welcome. We didn't tell you that, but it happens everywhere. Yeah, what happened is that here is the hospital of Limón. See, hospital of Limón, so it gets to be quite busy. It's not that much right now, actually, but yes, that's pretty much the reason. And of course, we are in the big bus. Okay. Well, once we're done, amigos, with the train, and we end up to nowhere, in a place there, like, we're in the train. It's going to be a little hard to me to speak to everybody, so I'm going to be like walking once in a while there. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and I will be there more than pleased to help you out. If I do not know the answer, I will lie to you. Through that excursion on the train, we're going to be like looking a little bit of rainforest. There's going to be places where we can even see squatters. Like, there are even people who are not like poor. There are people who just take the lands to do kind of nice building there for the weekends and stuff like that, but they're still called squatters, right? They're taking the land there, and it's not the government, because they don't need it. It's probably not doing nothing about it, but we don't know if whenever they need it, if they will do. People who survive on cocoa, right, coconuts and stuff like that. Limon is involved on Africa River mills, so there's a lot of milk, coconut milk, that it's base of the mills in Costa Rica, right? So that's a lot of people works on that. They just tearing apart the coconut and selling it to the restaurants and stuff like that. That's the thing. So you will see a lot of that. Of course, we're gonna go through a little more infrastructure town, right, where other people will work. Maybe not poor. They're not poor, but at least kind of low. The social class, middle class, a little bit of middle and low social class. Then some banana plantations, right? So that's something. Even at the train, we could see animals. We don't know, right? And of course, course, amigos, once the train, remember, like I said, is not like glass version of cars nowadays. So it's kind of tough when it starts moving before stopping. So we gotta be seating with when this happens, right? Because it's gonna be a little bit wet because of the rain, and it could be slippery. So let's avoid that. Sometimes people like to ask me which side is better. Guys, it's just a matter of luck, right? Animals could be in the right side. It happened to me twice that I said, oh, go to the left, and then animals starts popping at the right. So it's like, well, it's same, right? Animals could be everywhere. If you like to see more ocean, more forest in the right side, more forest in the left side, but still, right? So it's a nice ride. And what else about the tour? Now, well, once we're done, once we make it there, Jose is gonna be waiting for us, right? In the other side. Yeah, Jose. Yeah, Jose. No. Jose. No, Jose. And then we have a little stop at the souvenir, right, on the way back, right? There is this little stop over there. At the same place, now they're giving you a little walk of around 15 minutes to join me. Of course, the ones who do not want to do it, you can stay at the souvenir. But let's say that we're doing around 15, 20 minutes walk and another 25 minutes souvenir. So it's about 50 total minutes in there. And from there on, we're just like 15 minutes away from the boat. Right? So souvenir is very close to the boat. So we'll be back and hopefully the boat's still there. If not, you can stay in Costa Rica. Barbecue in Michael house over there. That would be great. Well, amigos, we're gonna go on story because we're doing the train, and over there, I can't tell you the whole stories about it. It will not even give us enough time, but I'll give you a slice of the cake, right? So, who conquers Costa Rica? Spain people came due to Christopher Columbus' misunderstanding, right? Two years later, and they started to conquer Costa Rica. How long it took them to conquer Costa Rica? How many years? A lot. 99 years to conquer Costa Rica. People think that 1 year, 2, 3 years. No, 99 years. The Atlantic, they couldn't deal with the weather conditions. The indigenous people constantly attacking these people. Mountain range and everything, so they run away. One was killed actually, and then the main story started in Pacific side of Costa Rica. It is a flatter than Atlantic, right? So that's why they started to conquer Costa Rica from Pacific, and then they stopped. There was a gap of 35 years, more or less, right? That no conquerors came because they made it to the Central Valley, but on the other side, they didn't cross the mountain range, right? And they stopped because the last portion of indigenous people were hiding in Atlantic, right? In here where we are pretty much, right? And they couldn't go there because they didn't know how to go through the mountain range. And the indigenous people in this area were called the bravest, the strongest, right? Indios bravos, because they were very strong, right? They got the advantage of the terrain and all that. But in this gap of 35 years, indigenous people got weaker because the main factor of conquering, it was disease. Yellow fever, malaria, smallpox, all this was brought to Costa Rica, and it was due for indigenous people that didn't know how to treat it back then. So, and of course, slavery and killing, but the strongest factor was disease. So the last who survived the conquering, it was 10,000 people out of 200,000 people, right? So the last 10,000 were established in Atlantic. After the 35 years gap, Spain brought guns and horses and stuff like that to go through, and they catch their leader, right? They didn't kill them all, they catch their leader, which is nowadays our first national hero. He was killed, he was murdered in front of the rest of the people, and they gave up, right? That's why Costa Rica were conquered by Spain, and we started to be mainly Spanish language, right? give you a little shortage version of 99 years. Oh well, of course we like to be different. We just speak like Spain, right? We just speak like Spain. We have our own dialects, slangs, and everything, right? Pura vida, it's one, right? They don't use that, and they don't even know. I mean, they know what is it if they have traveled to Costa Rica, right? We like to say tico time. That's another one that I can explain you a little bit. And we produce a lot in the R. Right, that's something that makes us Costa Ricans too. It says Costarricense, Costa Rica, Rico, Carro. Right, we play the X. Yes, they teach you so well Spanish at school to pronounce the R with the tongue, not with the lips. That's what happened. Like most people pronounce it with the lips, and then they teach it with the tongue, and we get to overroll it after that. Right? We get too good at it that we overroll it. So then Spains or Mexicans or Puerto Ricans or stuff like that, they get to, I mean, it's funny for them because we say it too much, right? We say it too much, yeah. Exactly, too much on, right? I don't really hear myself, I have to pay attention to really listen to myself rolling it too much. For me, it's like normal, and there's laughing something, I was like, what's going on? Like, why are you laughing, right? And it's because I'm rolling it. Yes?
Are the wide leaf plants, banana trees?
White?
Wide.
Wide. There we go. Yes, that's a species of banana, but it's not the one that you guys eat. Like, it's not Cavendish, right? Cavendish is a species of banana that we cultivate, or that you will see in bigger plantations with Chiquita, Dole, and all of it. Huh? Okay, amigos, we're going to wait because it seems that they, even Jose already spotted, they found a sloth. There's a sloth. It's further there, of course. It will not move, so we're going to wait. Yeah, we're going to wait, no problem. Right? Yeah. Of course it's raining, so all you will get to see is like a nest. Like he's in a fetal position, like he tuck in, right? He's covered to try to keep himself warm, right? Exactly. It's like dogs when they're cold. Like that. It's the same, right?
You see the rain.
Yeah, let's see. This is the outline.